Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. Hope everybody's having a great day. Got a great video for you guys today. Today is some people's favorite day of the week. Why? Because you get to ask me questions. Any questions that I got in yesterday's video, I'm going to read the comments and then talk a little bit about each comment. It's kind of a way for you guys to get the answers that you have questions to and hear my opinions on them. And right now there is a ton of stuff going on with precious metals. A lot of people are super excited with what's going on. We are definitely seeing some excitement. I kind of didn't even want to do this today only because there is so much to talk about what happened in the markets yesterday. There's a good chance I'm going to be doing a Sunday video where I kind of wrap up a little bit about what's happened over the course of the week and kind of what could happen on Sunday night. I think it's pretty exciting. I'm going to take a quick minute and show you all the price. I would be shocked if anybody's watching this video this morning on Saturday morning and they don't know what the price closed out on Friday. $79.27. That is up over 10% in one day. Every ounce of silver you bought before yesterday is worth 10% more. And here's the thing. Think about that, 10%, what that is. We're talking $7.50 more per ounce. How many of y'all remember the days of 50 cents and that was exciting, or $1 and that was exciting? $7.50. And here's the thing that people don't realize. We're probably only going to see higher and higher gains. As the price goes up, I mean, you're looking at it right now, $7.50. I mean, that's at a 10% gain. But let's just say we're up to $100 silver and we have a 5% gain. That's still $5. People don't realize that this is going to start growing exponentially. And the prices could really get out of hand. And there's some stuff I want to talk about tonight, but I can't because this morning, because I already have the video. I've already told people what the video is going to be about. It's going to be your questions and answers. But I think a lot of people don't even understand what's going on. I've had so many calls yesterday saying you should sell. You should sell. Sell some at least. Take profits. Do this, do that. You know what? A lot of people were against silver. A lot of people didn't believe in silver. I believed in it, and I believe it's going to go a whole lot higher. I understand people are like, their thought process is, if silver was to crash back down to 40, 30, you're going to feel horrible. You're going to feel horrible. Some of my friends actually was in the stock market during the 2008 crash, and I had one friend, he literally almost sold a bunch of his stocks to buy a condo. He didn't do it, and the stock market crashed that week. He said, I literally could have hit the sell button and got a condo out of the deal on the beach, chilling, living the 2.5 men lifestyle. And he didn't do it. And so some people think maybe you should sell now. I don't really believe that. I don't believe it. I'm holding out for the big win, maybe. We'll see. There may come a time where I do decide to sell some. But as of right now, I'm not feeling it. I feel it's going to go a whole lot higher, and I'm going to tell you guys why probably in tomorrow's video. But I think we're going to get some questions tonight, which will kind of lead you on to understand why I think the way I'm thinking. Taking a quick look, though, at Bitcoin. We got Bitcoin right now trading at $87,437, up $135, and they're cheering that's great. Bitcoin's starting to climb back out of the gutter. Okay, yeah, it's started climbing again. I mean, year to date, it's down 9%. I'm sorry, over the last year, it's down 9%. Year to date, it's only down 6.5%. So personally, I'm not feeling Bitcoin right now, but we'll see what happens. And assets based by market capitalization, something we like to share every day. Silver. I did yesterday's video and I said, silver's got a long run. It's going to take a little while before we can climb up and pass NVIDIA. I'm not saying that anymore. I mean, literally, we're less than $3 away from passing NVIDIA. We're right now, and that's assuming NVIDIA doesn't really do anything. Remember, NVIDIA is going up too. NVIDIA went up yesterday 1%, while silver went up It depends on what you look at. The futures price went up by 11%. The actual spot price went up by like 10.5%. It doesn't matter what number you look at. It's making the climb. Sitting right now at $4,485,000,000,000. Literally only 135, 40, 48, 53, 153 billion behind Nvidia. And at the rate it's climbing, it's not going to take much to overtake that and be up there in its rightful spot right next to gold. So a lot of excitement on that. And with that being said, we're going to jump right in and get into the comments because we got 85 of them to cover tonight. If each one takes 2 minutes, you can expect this to be a few-hour video. It's not broken down in any specific topics. I just kind of go through, read the comments, tell you guys what I think about each comment. Some of the comments are going to be easy. Hey, have a great day. Thanks for doing the videos. And some might be more complicated about what you think about what's going on. Please take a quick minute, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I can't ask you enough, thank you enough for hitting the subscribe button. We are trying to grow the channel, and it's a lot of work. I mean, it is a lot of work. We're sitting right now at 15,300 subscribers. The channel is growing, and a special thank you to all of our members of the channel. So with that being said, hit that subscribe, hit that thumbs up, and leave a comment, and let's get reading these comments. So a lot of comments to cover. So first of all, Paulie, how's it going today? Hope you're having a great day. Hey, T, I just can't believe that we have reached $79 and still climbing. I want to thank you and a couple other silver channels for opening my eyes almost a year and a half ago. I started buying as low as 27, but my average of about $30 to $32 before silver started to explode. Again, I want to thank you at this time to share this with you, and you let you know that your videos and your time do greatly matter, and they do change lives. Dude, you're going to make me cry. As you always mention, I will never sell my silver for fiat currency, but only if I needed to invest into a homestead or something. It doesn't have to just be a homestead, but for you, a homestead. I've been a channel member also for over a year. Thank you so much. I can't thank you enough for that. I do know you right off the bat. When I was reading your comment, I knew you were already a channel member. I know all the channel members pretty much. I make it a point to see all y'all's comments. First of all, it kind of brings a little bit of a tear to my eye, so thank you. I'm a little, I don't know what the word is. Usually girls tease me. They're like, dude, you're so freaking emotional. You're so, I don't know. It's just, it's, you know, it's exciting. It's exciting for me. It's excited, I know, for you. But, you know, these videos, here's the thing. They help me as much as they help you, because when I follow all this stuff, it opens my eyes up to a lot of the stuff, because there's stuff that I didn't know. Like right now, I mean, China and Russia are literally boxing out America. They're putting us in a box, I believe, and it's scary because the banks are in trouble. Banks borrowed yesterday in overnight lending. They took something like $18 billion. That $18 billion that they borrowed from the bank was for margin calls, essentially. They needed money to cover their short position. If a margin call comes in, they don't really care if they think, it's going to come down or it's overpriced or whatever. They don't play that game. It's a simple numbers game for them. If the numbers go up, they want to cut. They want you to put up some more capital. They're not going to let you buy on margin and let the price continue to go up and lose everything plus their money. Because if a company goes bankrupt, well, that's it. It goes bankrupt. Nobody wants to, if I loan you money, I want to make sure I get my money. And even if that means I've got to ask you for a little extra here and there to make sure you're putting up more collateral, doesn't matter. It's just the way it is. So There's a lot going on right now in play. And by me making these videos, it pushes me to buy silver here and there. It pushes me to continue stacking. It encourages me as much as I believe it encourages you. So thank you so much. Yo, T-Square, I watch your channel every day. I really respect your point of view. Thank you for your service. I started stacking in February or March of this year. Silver was $29 an ounce. I managed to get 500 silver ounces of silver, 1.5 ounces of gold. Very fortunate to have a great job overseas working on helicopters. Now I got to click this real quick. Ooh, that's a long one. Working on helicopters. Anyways, last week, silver was $67. The gold-silver ratio was 65-1. I traded 140 ounces of silver. Oh, no. 120 ounces of generic, 20-ounce silver eagle for 2 1-ounce gold eagles. That's awesome. Okay. I wanted to trade out some of my silver position for gold for a few reasons. It's not as volatile. That's true. It's not fiat. That's true. The goal of my stack is to acquire as much as possible. I'm content with the trade. Hindsight will tell. Gold doesn't jump up. Now I'm looking at silver today at 79. I think it's going to be going to the moon. I just hope gold goes with it. Congratulations to you and all the other stackers who watch this channel. God bless you all. P.S. Take care of yourself. I will probably see the take care of yourself a lot. Some of y'all know I have been having some major diabetes issues running 580. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to work that out. I don't like medicine. I don't like doctors, but it's the system. It's a system. I'm just going to have to kind of keep chucking away at it. I am taking medicine now for it, though, unfortunately. Jumping on, though, to what happened here. So gold-silver ratio, yeah, it's coming down fast. I said originally I wouldn't do anything until we were at 60-1. Recently, I got asked, am I still going to do 60-1? No, I'm not. I'm not willing to trade 60-1 anymore, only because I hate to say this, and this is where I'm going to have to answer a little bit of a longer statement on this. America is boxed in. I hate to say that. Right now, big banks are in trouble. They owe a ton of silver. They've shorted, and contracts are coming due. People want their silver. Margin calls are coming in. There's no way to fix that. They're going to have to probably buy on the market. That could drive the price up. I think we're going to see some crazy stuff happen next week if we don't see the whole thing just collapse. I've never felt so, I don't want to say confident, because confident makes it sound like it's positive, but I've never felt so confident that things are at the breaking point as they are now. Literally right now, it is insane what is going on. And I think China knows this. China knows that the government will bail out the big banks, and they will apply pressure on Sunday night to silver. Silver, it could be the Achilles heel of the entire financial system. They have built up huge short positions and acquired it, and I think they're probably going to have to go to J.P. Morgan and get J.P. Morgan to essentially dole out a ton of silver just to make delivery. They're holding a lot of it, and they're probably going to have to part out some of that at a higher price. We could see, I hate to say this because some people will laugh, we could see a $10 jump in literally one day. I've never said anything that bullish, but right now, if people aren't willing to sell, and there's not many people selling out there right now, and the box is getting put up around them, what's going to happen? They're going to have a margin call, I bet, for sure. Monday morning, they're going to have their hand out asking for money, and it's going to be ugly. So we'll see what happens. And $79 is extremely exciting. I don't plan on getting rid of any silver anytime soon with what's going on. A lot of friends have been pressing me right now. You should consider selling even half of whatever you got, but I'm not even thinking about it, to be honest. It's going up. Hey, I don't even need to know. I mean, someone asked me, told me I should do an inventory. Part of me is like, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. That's work. I got enough work going on right now, so I don't even know if I'll get to it next week or what. You know, maybe down the road after the holidays, but who knows? It's going to get interesting. That's all I can say. Are you planning on trading silver for gold if the gold-silver ratio hits a certain amount? That also comes down to playing out. I kind of touched on that in the previous comment, West. It's going to come down to what the gold-silver ratio gets to. I think we're sitting at like 57 or 58 right now, which is to some people crazy that we've came down that much. I remember when it was 125 to 1. And we talked about that, and everybody wanted gold. And when gold went up even faster, a lot of people were like, dude, gold's moving so quick. Silver ain't doing nothing. We were frustrating. Now we're seeing it go up. And a lot of people are a little bit disappointed because now they know they ain't getting it. That's it. You're going to have a hard time buying it now. Get what you can get now because the opportunity to get it is pretty much winding down. Even if you could get stuff at spot before, you ain't getting it at spot now. You know, so who knows? We'll see what happens. Testimonial. What I don't understand from the gold to silver bugs is when Bitcoin was increasing in value, they were some negative about the price increases. T-Square was guilty of this too. And now that gold and silver finally broke out, they are all positive. Silver increases a few dollars and everyone is all excited. At the same time, Bitcoin increased thousands of dollars. They are pessimistic about it. Okay, here's the question that people don't really understand my viewpoints on this, I don't think. What is the demand? What causes demand for Bitcoin or any other crypto? What causes demand? Why did Bitcoin go up? I'm going to call it, and I've heard other channels call it this, the big financial advisors that are against crypto, the bigger fool theory. Why do you buy Bitcoin? You don't buy Bitcoin to make jewelry. You don't buy Bitcoin to make solar panels. You don't buy Bitcoin to make cars, airplanes, Tomahawk missiles, cell phones. You buy Bitcoin because you think somebody else will pay you more for it in a year or two. You can't convert a Bitcoin into a physical item. Can someone give you a physical item for it? Yes, because they think that a Bitcoin is going to be worth more down the road. So when that went up to $125,000, it was insane to me, and I'm not ashamed to say it. With silver has been undervalued, manipulated down. Lawsuits have been in place, with the largest one being $990 million for manipulating the price of precious metals. And they came out and said, whatever, here you go. Here's your money. We'll make it back in the next, 6 months. They didn't care. They need silver. That's why silver is going up right now. Somebody needs silver. Right now, China solar panel companies are saying, look, we got $1 billion company. We don't care the price of silver. If silver is 80, we'll buy it. If silver's 90, we'll buy it. If silver's $150, we'll buy it. We're not going to shut down $1 billion company because we don't have silver. We've got to make a product, and if people want to buy that product for whatever the price, they will pay the price. If you're a multimillionaire and you want a Tesla car that charges in 8 minutes, you don't care how much the batteries cost or what it's made out of. All you care about is that you get it. It's not the same thing when you're comparing silver and Bitcoin. So yes, the huge 10% climb that we've seen in one day, I'll be honest, that's a Bitcoin. That's a crypto number, that kind of rush. But you got to understand why it had that rush. because too many ounces of silver are gone now. They have manipulated. They made it look like there's plenty of silver, and now the cat is out of the bag that there's not plenty of silver. So that's on that one. That's pretty much all I can say. I mean, the two, one is not tangible and one is physical. One's not physical, one's physical. Okay, let's see here. Polly, you were the first person I thought of this morning. Things are about to get fun. Absolutely. I'll be honest. The first thing I look at every morning, honestly, is how many of you all watch this video. So really, you guys were the first ones I thought of this morning. And I read through the comments, but I knew I could not reply to any of these comments until after. Because once I reply to the comment goes away. So I just sat there and looked at them, read through them, and I'm like, oh, I really want to answer that right now, because it is getting exciting. And I'm thankful that you guys check out the channel when you first wake up. It's super exciting. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to have another big exciting day on Sunday night and Monday, I think. It's going to get wild. $79 plus now. It's wild. Absolutely. You are absolutely right. It is wild. Colin, it's just insane knowing that, you know, and pretty soon these coins that you're holding are going to be $100 a pop. And I really think we'll see it very soon. Let's see. Chris, my man. Never thought I would see the day. I've been at it for 30 years. Plus, will the tribe smash it as always? Or have they ran out of tricks? I highly doubt they don't have some punches left. But hey, it's been an amazing day, that's for sure. Glad to see those who had the nuts to hold on are going to be rewarded. Live spot prices right now, $45.45 on gold, $79.21 on silver, $24.53 on platinum, and $19.61 on palladium, with crazy gains. $52 jump on gold, $7.60 jump on silver, $150 on platinum, and $84 on palladium. So first of all, Chris, thank you so much. I think that's really great of you to say that. I know over the years you have always watched the channel. I firmly believe that you have some silver, some gold, some metals. I believe you're holding crypto based on all the comments that you left me. Like I said, I know those of you that watch the videos and comment regularly, you're my friends. I know you. We don't always see eye to eye. And I understand the frustration. For someone like you that has been at this for 30 years, you have seen the price get beat down multiple times and boxed in. But this one is totally different. It's different because right now I'm convinced, I hate to say this, China is moving against us. China realizes that big banks are so short on silver that as the price goes up, that's it. And they need silver now. So they're buying it. They're not allowing it to leave their country now unless it's in an item that's being sold, like a cell phone or a solar panel. And once you realize that that's happening, you understand that you can't paper over demand, industrial demand. You can paper over some stuff, but these companies need silver. And they have played this game for too long. And it makes sense that companies like JP Morgan are holding such huge positions in silver. And I think ultimately they will probably make delivery here in a couple days when they've got to deliver silver. But on the flip side of that, they're going to deliver and it's going to get costly. The price is going to go up quite a bit. I think it's no coincidental that China is squeezing right now. Why did they pick right now? Everybody's on vacation. No one's there to beat it up. It means we could have a week, a ghost week is what they call it, when everybody's not really at their trading desk. We could have a ghost week to remember. Does that mean it will automatically plunge down? I'll be honest, I probably won't buy anything under any circumstances next week. I will just be sitting there watching what's going on. But I know some people are panicking right now. They want to go all in, and that's frustrating. When I hear people say that, I don't want to be a part of helping someone do that. Even though I think silver can go a whole lot higher, I think we could see, like I said, $10 on Monday. A $10 jump on Monday could very well happen. But I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to be a part of telling someone, oh, you should buy, because yes, the demand is there. Yes, something can go wrong, but you said it exactly right. Do they have more tricks up their sleeve? I remember when the nickel prices skyrocketed and they just shut the markets down, reversed everybody's trades, and somehow they were off the hook. And that was insane what happened. And it gets harder and harder to box that up later. But we'll see what happens with this. It's definitely going to get exciting, and I thank you so much for that really great comment, Chris. I do appreciate it. Joey with the thumbs up. Thank you so much, my man. I appreciate that. It doesn't matter if you don't leave a comment. If you just put a thumbs up or a good morning, that really helps out the algorithm, so thank you very much. GE Tex, what's up, my man? How's it going? Hope you're having a great night. Anyone else give silver as gifts? I usually give American Silver Eagles to close family and friends, and give away 11 ounces. I don't get much myself in gifts, but that's okay, as I'm old and I have what I need. Laugh out loud. Fun to be able to give nice stuff. So, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you, bro. My family, most of my family have all passed away. I don't really, in fact, aside from a couple people texting me Merry Christmas, I don't even celebrate it. I really don't. I don't even like to really, I hate to say this. Some people might think this is ugly. I don't even really think about it. If you noticed, I didn't even say Merry Christmas in the beginning of the video the other day. It's not because I don't know, whatever. It's just because I'm old, just like you, and I try not to even really think about it. It's just another day, a day that no restaurants were open, and I had to barbecue a little bit of food myself. But yeah, as for giving, I will probably give my son a little bit of silver and a couple other things I don't want to say in case he does watch the video, but you know, it is what it is. And obviously cash. Unfortunately, kids like cash. That's what they're after. But he's happy that silver is going up because he's got some too. So Hillbilly Stacks, what's up, buddy? It's no longer Hillbilly Stock Picks. It's Hillbilly Stacks. Taking pride in them stacks now. I know you always did, but it's just funny. I got to say, I'm the opposite of excited. Majority of people have no clue what prices going up actually means, because we are about to see suffering across America. So I'm going to talk about that because that is something that I've texted a few people today, but I'm still excited. I'm still excited for my silver, but I'm going to finish reading the comment first. I'm sorry. Across America, that has never been seen in history prior. Our politicians have sent us into a situation that only bankruptcy can solve. Inflation is still going much higher, and hyperinflation is coming guaranteed. They always did another round of shrinkflation. They can't hide it much longer. Everything is going to get way more expensive. Metals are going up. Is good for a small percentage of us, the people watching this channel that have been stacking. Other people will literally starve and not have homes. It's already beginning, but nobody is paying attention. So let's talk about this. What does this mean? So he firmly understands what's going on based on this comment. For those of you that don't know, big banks borrowed $18 billion yesterday. They borrowed that essentially from the government, which eventually filters out to taxpayers. But not only will we get stuck paying that, on top of that, that money will flow into the system. It will work its way through all the ins and the outs, the nooks and crannies, to where more money in the system ramps up inflation. If you understand what's going on, prices are going to go up. They know this already, and they're scared. And here's the thing, China knows this too, and China is going to apply pressure on Sunday night. We've said this time and time again. Things are going to get ugly if precious metals were to skyrocket. There are people out there that don't really understand what's going on, and they'll say it doesn't really matter because no one understands silver really. And to a certain point, that's true, but on the flip side, even if you understand it, or you don't understand it, it's simply put, it's more money in the system. They're not going to let the banks fail. These banks are too big to fail. They're not going to let them fail. They're not going to do anything. They're probably not even going to have bail-ins. They're going to apply pressure. It's not an industrial company's fault to say, hey, we're going to shut down our factory. We're not going to produce cell phones because silver's too high. We need it to come down. China would eat that up too. They would love that. They're going to keep acquiring silver. They're going to apply pressure. Is there a fix to it? There is a fix to it. I'm convinced, and this is my theory, if the government came out right now and said silver is $80, we're prepared to give you $100 for every ounce of silver that you have. You can take that $100, deposit it into your bank account, and it will be a tax-free transaction. You can do this. You have 60 days to do this tax-free. That government, yeah, they're going to print money to get it, but they're printing money anyway to bail out these banks already. So they might as well print the money, get the silver, buy the gold. People, some of us even in the room, including myself, would be willing. I told a friend of mine, he asked me, you going to sell, dude? 70, that's huge. I said, 80, we might as well just say, almost. That's huge. You're going to sell? I said, no, because then I got to pay capital gains. Not selling. I said, I'll hold it. I'll just wait. And yeah, if I croak with it, then the cost basis for my son is whatever it was worth when I croaked, to the best of my knowledge, but that's for a CPA to decide. Needless to say, yeah, I mean, if they did that tax-free, take it out one time tax-free, hey, I'd be tempted to sell my silver. Maybe not all of it. Maybe I'd keep some. Maybe I would sell some and take it tax-free, and maybe I would just buy it right back off of other people that have smaller amounts, and I would then have a cost basis of $80. But here's the thing. If they offer $100, who's going to sell to me for $80 when they can sell it to the government for $100? So it's going to make it difficult, and they would suck up a lot of silver. Some people, the government's not going to give you anything tax-free. You're right. They don't want to do that. But here's the thing. People ain't going to sell. Why not free up the market right now and save the banks? I hate to say that. If you're going to bail them out anyway, then you're going to make hyperinflation. You bail out the banks, you're hyperinflation. If you bail in, yeah, people will lose their money, but they ain't putting a penny in the bank after that. Nobody is going to be happy with a bail-in. Some of y'all have never heard of the Dodd-Frank Act, where it says that banks, before they go under, they can bail in. Depositors' money goes to the bank. Depositors will have a stock credit in the bank, and that's it. So, yeah, this is going to get ugly. People starving, not have homes, as long as if they're smart, they shouldn't go hungry. There are plenty of ways to get money, food. Homes, ain't no one buying a home. If you don't own a home now, I was on the fence of selling one of my last homes. I don't even know if I'm going to sell now because this could get ugly. And you can't even take the money and buy silver and gold because it's already ramped up too high. So who knows? I hope you had a Merry Christmas, T. I was thinking about you and your talk about trying to get more subscribers. I wonder if you had a local coin store or any coin stores, if you could make some videos every now and then with their input and have different kinds of videos to bring in more viewers. I know some other YouTube channels do that, and they get pretty good views. Or some YouTubers will do a stream together, even if there's not actually together. A lot of people from both channels end up watching, getting a wider reach for new people to find both people on YouTube in the streams. So yes, first of all, though, yes and no. So first of all, I don't have any coin shops near me. Coins in this area are kind of unique. There's no coin shops in my area. I do think that kind of stuff could take off. Obviously, if you have viewers, I have viewers, we do a stream together, your viewers watch, my viewers watch, both people gain subscribers. I don't really have a whole lot of technical knowledge when it comes to what do you call it? I don't want to say podcasting. I mean, there's none of this system here I set up. I don't even really understand how all this works. All I was told was, look, you click this button, record, and then you click the link and you upload to YouTube. That easy. If you want to go live, you click this button and you see everybody's comments here and you go live. I don't have a lot of knowledge. I do want to fix that in the near future. I bought a brand new laptop. I'd like to get that set up to where I can kind of do more videos elsewhere. Soon, I may have some major changes to this channel that some people will like and some people won't like. At the rate silver is going up, I'm convinced a lot of us are going to be in a way better financial situation. And if that happens, my YouTube channel may change. You may see me on an island talking about island life in the Philippines or Taiwan, travel videos. I hope those of you that are my family, I call you all my family that have been subscribed for a long time, I hope you will stay subscribed. I know seeing, I don't know, beautiful new places, great buffets, and lots of good food in foreign countries, and a lot of good-looking men and women may not be your thing. Maybe it's just silver for you. But for me, I think it would be a lot of fun. Someone left me a good comment the other day. It said, you need to get your act together when it comes to your health. You're a very smart person. You're not stupid. You know some of this stuff is bad for you that you're doing. You don't sit down and eat a slab of bacon and a bag of chips. You need to get your act together in that area. That way you can make it to the Philippines and really enjoy your life. And I firmly agree with that. I started taking medicine and I'm working on it. But as for growing the channel, I'm trying. I just don't always have a lot of people around me that I can do that with. I don't have the knowledge to set up like podcast joints, so it makes it a little harder. I do have the knowledge when it comes to financial analysts. I do analyze all the charts. I follow what's going on overseas. I watch the overseas markets, the American markets, the London markets, and that I enjoy. I'm a numbers guy. That's it. I'm essentially a geek. I hate to say that, a nerd or whatever you want to call it. That was always me and how I am. Okay, let's see. Burp. I don't know. I thank you for the comment. I don't know what that means. But yeah, it's getting exciting though. I will say that. We're definitely seeing silver pump. Let's see. Good video, T. No regrets here. I like you and your 0% credit card deal. I let my bills go for a few times over the last few years so I could load up on silver. Been stacking since 2015. And I believe this is one of the best choices I've ever made. So, yeah, I would agree with that. I know some people like that little trick that I did using my credit card to buy silver at 0% for a year. I still haven't paid that back. I've still got roughly 6 months now to pay that back. But at $38 silver, that silver that I bought on that 0% credit card has well paid for itself twice now. So it's going to get exciting. Thank you so much, John, for that comment. Rock solid, 76. Absolutely, 76. We're actually at 79. $3.25 higher than when you wrote that comment only 12 hours ago. So definitely a lot of excitement with that. Randy Gary, holding my silver above 76 at the moment. I told someone we could see an $8 jump in a day. You said that 12 hours ago. That was at 11:45. Yeah, I confirm. When you wrote that comment, silver was $76. We were still off from that $8 jump, and you called it because you didn't know the future was going to hold and keep going up $3 more. So, yeah, good call on that. You were right. Silver is on fire. I did not expect that big of a jump. I would have thought we would have seen that. What we saw today, I would have expected by the end of Monday. That means that we went up $10 in just 2 trading days. Think about that for a minute. 2 trading days, we went up $10. Before that, it took 12 trading days to go up $10. Before that, it took 18 trading days to go up at $10. And before that, it took 34 days, I think it was, 33 days. It was just a hair over a month. That tells me that it's escalating. Now, the true test is going to be when the markets open Sunday night, can they go up $10 in just one day? That would really close the gap. If we go from 34, 18, 12, 2, it's not much smaller than 2 unless it happens in one day. So it's definitely getting exciting. Comex copper is up 30 cents at 10.20. How many of y'all seen copper, though, has had a lot of flat lines lately? Not trading. When you look up why, they say it was due to extreme volatility. So you do see some flatlining where the price is not moving for whatever the reason. Definitely suspicious there. I think they know hyperinflation is coming. And they know smart money is going to try to position. I think a lot of people are trying to position before it comes. And now they just put us in essentially a feedback loop now. Because if they're buying up gold and silver, China's not allowing it to come to the U.S. essentially. We're only going to see it probably just ramp up even higher and higher. That's why I think we could see $10 jump in one day, Sunday night, Monday. The currency revaluation video you did about the guy who converted to gold just before the revaluation was one of my favorite videos. So that video, when I looked for that video for someone, I don't remember who it was. Somebody else said that. They said, when you did the story about Carlos, I think it was Carlos Slim, the media mogul who just before the Nuevo Peso came out, he either got incredibly lucky or he knew what was about ready to happen. He took all of his old pesos, converted them into gold. Not even a couple weeks later, we saw them revalue the peso from like 1,000 to 1. So if you had 1,000 pesos, you got 1 Nuevo Peso. And that's it. Your savings was wiped out. But hey, don't worry about it. You go to work, you're going to make new pesos. And they're going to be the new ones, not the old ones. But anybody that had money saved up was literally destroyed. That is exactly what I think they're going to do here. And this guy, he bought gold. So gold was only valued at just under $400. It was like $350. So $350. at the time. They revalue all the pesos, and I'm saying, if you converted everything into U.S. dollars, it came out to like $350 when gold was there. And then when they revalued everybody's money, it still was 350 conversion, except now you had to buy it in the new pesos. So all your old pesos were not obsolete. You could turn them in and get new pesos, but at 1,000 to 1 ratio. This guy literally went up basically 10x. I'm sorry, 1,000x. And he had money. Whereas somebody else that was holding pesos might have had, thousands, millions of pesos, and it was wiped out instantly. Big money is buying gold right now. They're buying silver. They understand what's happening. They've seen this play out in multiple countries. But everybody that is not the smart money, I'm going to call it, understand or believe that could never happen here. I had someone tell me today, okay, yeah, the dollar is not exempt. You're right. But the dollar is the world reserve currency. It's not going to happen that quick like it happened in Venezuela or Mexico or wherever. Lebanon, Cyprus, Weimar, Germany, Rome, none of these places. We're the world reserve currency. It can't happen here. And that's exactly, I think, what they want you to think until it's too late. And then all of a sudden, you're sitting on, let's just say, that friend that told me that, he has maybe $100,000 in his bank account right now. That's it. If they revalue that 1,000 to 1, $100,000 drops down to almost nothing at 1,000 to 1. He'll be sitting on $100, and that's it. It's game over. Everything he's built up, everything he saves, he will probably snap at that point, and I worry about people in that case. It happened. It already happened before. They'll tell you that, hey, this is good because your new pesos now are worth more money, but it's not good. You saved while everybody else was wasteful, and now they're getting the same reward as you. And that's bent over on the table, essentially. I hate to say it like that, but that's probably the cleanest way I can say it. You're all going to be in the same boat, the people that didn't stack. So who knows? We'll see. I wish I could find where that video was, because I did look for that for someone when they wrote that comment before. But thank you so much for that, B-dubs. I do appreciate that. Mining stocks are going to soar. They could. I've been hearing that all year. Mining stocks are going to soar when the price goes up. I hear that from mostly YouTubers that get sponsored by mining companies, and I did a video on that the other day, and I told you my thoughts on that. I told everybody my thoughts on that. Maybe they will, but maybe you should have just bought silver instead of the mining stocks. Mining stocks are pieces of paper. Yes, they get a cut of the paper profits that the mine produces. Most of them don't pay you dividends in silver. Is there one? I think there might be one now that has started paying dividends in silver. I could be wrong on that, though. I know there was a plan in place that they were going to start that. But at the end of the day, a mining stock is a piece of paper, and they can print more paper if they want to. GameStop, when GameStop price soared, eventually they ended up printing more paper. And that's it. And the CEO of GameStop got in trouble by his shareholders because they felt they should have done that a lot sooner. They should not have waited. They should have jumped on that instantly. But that's actually what caused it to run up in price, that they could manipulate. And then it caused it also to come down in price, that they could manipulate. With silver, you can't manipulate. It's demand right now. Yes, before you could manipulate because there was still a bank account with a lot of silver in it. But now, companies need physical silver. You can't make cars with paper. You can't make cars with stocks. You can only make cars and cell phones and refrigerators and Tomahawk missiles with physical silver. That's why I buy physical silver. So when I read a comment that says mining stocks are going to soar, they will probably go up, but they can control that a little bit more. In fact, I would think they would have already started pushing those up a little bit to entice people to buy the mining stocks instead of the physical. Maybe even get you to sell your physical and buy the mining stocks and say, oh, well, look at this. You don't have to deal with security. You don't have to deal with holding. You don't have to deal with all this stuff. It's going to get crazy. Let's see. I passed out 4 silver rounds on Christmas. Nice. I wonder if they even knew really what you gave them. In some cases, some people get silver and they don't really understand it. But it's cool that you tried helping them. I'm sure they got that and they're watching it now maybe. Let's see, 1226 at 9.59. We are at $76.03. It is definitely climbing. A lot of excitement when it hit 76. But here is the thing. I think Sunday night, Monday could be even bigger. Could a big drop happen? Yes, but I don't think it's gonna. I think we're gonna talk about that probably tomorrow's video. I don't normally do videos on Sunday, but this is it right here. I've got to at this point. Too many people are asking questions about different stuff right now. Is the silver squeeze still on its way? It's happening right now. It is underway. The silver squeeze is happening right now. That was 13 hours ago, and we're seeing it happen. I mean, that's why we're seeing silver climb so much, because they are squeezing it. China knows, and China has just confirmed the U.S. government will bail out banks. And here we are. That's it. They're going to put the pressure on them next week. That $8 rise for $18 billion, I think we could see a $10 rise for $21 billion on Monday when the margin calls come in. And that's it. It's going to be crazy. Let's see. I'm not buying the panic. Follow the Buffett lead and piling up cash for a fire sale. Okay. So let's talk about this for a minute. This is a good comment. Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha. So I used to like Buffett. Very knowledgeable. He's done very well for himself. Warren Buffett was big on silver at one point. He spoke very highly of silver. His family, his dad, spoke highly of silver. And he recognized silver as money. And then all of a sudden, he gets investigated for, I can't remember what the investigation was. And all of a sudden, he dumps his entire silver position and announces it all over the news, everything, that silver is a pet rock, and he now realizes it's the worst investment. And all of a sudden, the investigation goes away. So when following the Warren Buffett lead, I hate to say this, that's about, when talking about precious metals, that would be like following Squawk Box Mad Money, Jim Cramer's lead. That would be like following Dave Ramsey's lead. All people that have spoke against gold and silver to keep the system going. I'm not here to keep this system going. I'm tired of this system. I'm in it for myself at this point. And I know some people will say that sounds bad and this and that. You know what? How many of us think that we should bail out big banks? We bailed them out in 2008. We're going to probably get stuck bailing them out this time. But you know what? I'm going to be on the winning side when that happens. I've said that from the get-go. Being a diverse portfolio is going to put you in the driver's seat. But having a little heavy on gold and silver could give you an edge, because that's what government's doing. They're preparing. So I'm not saving up necessarily too much cash for this fire sale. I was actually on the fence of selling one of my last 2 houses. I don't even think I'm going to do that now. I don't know. I really don't know. I try to follow up to minute what's going on. I don't want to sell something and then all of a sudden it skyrockets in value. So we'll see what happens. Now, I know some people out there are going to say, House prices can't go any higher. No one will have the money to pay for it. 40-year loan, you can afford it now. 50-year loan, you can afford it now. Government-backed loans, hey, no worry about it. We'll back them. Banks will loan that money out no matter the number. And that's it. And so what will I have if I sell a house? I'll have cash that I believe could get devalued instantly. So, but I understand. Don't buy the panic. If you believe this is a panic, I don't believe this is a panic yet. I really don't. I think the panic is coming. So, but I don't think we're in the panic yet. I think the panic should happen. The panic by big banks that want to keep trying to short silver, I think they need to be panicking. $18 billion in one day is no joke. But thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I see the heart next to there. One of my top commenters. You comment on almost every video. You receive that badge for the highest number of likes and hearts on. So if you have that, I definitely got to give you props. So thank you so much. Not everybody has these. And the next comment is another one. Colorado silver. I used to give out silver as presents to my family and some friends. However, over the past years, I've limited that to only the family and friends who I've noticed really appreciate it and recognize that it's more than just an image on a coin. If I feel like it would be tossed aside like a trinket, I just get them something else. Not everyone is a good steward of precious metals, and few understand precious metals in part. So, yeah, I can understand where you're coming from. I don't know if I told this story before. One of my close friends was up in Houston, and they were staying at a hotel and eating at a restaurant. I don't know if it was at the hotel or at the restaurant, and his truck window got smashed out in a quick smash and grab. He had, I don't know, a few ounces of silver in the console. Not a lot, 2, 3, 4. They didn't just skip by it. They picked it up and threw it. They went in from the driver's side, smashed the window, opened the door, looked on the dash, looked in the center console, picked out some maps, a couple little books, threw them on the floor on the passenger side, picked up some silver, threw it on the floor on the passenger side, took a pair of sunglasses, took a knife, looked for cash, didn't find any, and moved on. These criminals threw the silver on the floor. And it's the funniest thing. And yet they took a pair of sunglasses and looked for cash and a knife. That just goes to show what's going on. They thought it was just some image on a coin. No value. Someone else said maybe they thought they were just $50. No, if they were $50, I think they would have probably taken them because they could probably buy a can of beer with a couple $50, or maybe not a couple, but a few, whatever. It's certainly not changed. These $50, or these silver coins, I should say, were 1 ounce silver rounds, part of a set, and they were in hard plastics, hard capsules. So it's crazy. Let's see. I got in at $38. Brian, let's see here, Brian. I got in at $34 an ounce. I don't even know why I started buying when I did. Something in my gut said go 2 feet in until the end of the year. And I have done just that. I'm grateful I have been given the foresight on this investing. I did. Keep grinding, stacking our time. Stackers, our time is here. To those skeptical old-timers who are scared, this isn't the 80s. Not even close. Stack in the past. Don't help Stacking the past don't help you on your future. So let's talk about this. What I take from this, great. First of all, you got in at 34. You've more than doubled your money. You got in. You've seen it go up almost nonstop. You definitely had the stomach for it when it hit 54.50 and fell all the way down to 46. Hopefully you bought a little bit more at 46 and saw it as a sale, whereas some people got panicked out and shaken out. But the 80s means, you mentioning the 80s means that you not just kept buying over the years, over the year and a half or over the year, tells me that you've also done a lot of research. The 80s was an interesting time, and you're exactly right. This is not the 80s. This is not the 80s where we didn't really use as much silver as we use today. Silver is a very critical part of almost every industry now. Cell phones, refrigerators, Tomahawk missiles, state-of-the-art ships, planes, all these different things. Electronics play a huge part in the world today. And in order to make those electronics, they need silver. And I think China has already recognized this. And that's why they have basically a standing order that they're just going to keep raising the price. And they're in a unique spot because think about this. Sunday night, the market's open there. They will move the price up to continue the buying over there. They want the silver to sell to them. They will start buying on Sunday night, I believe, and start driving the price up. London will then open, and they will keep the game going. If London opens higher and we see a gap, they'll keep buying. And when America opens, America will have no choice but to continue running their price up. Right now, China has it at 82.50, still a $3 gap essentially. I think a $3 gap is going to get closed in. However, China could extend that gap even higher. We're going to see. Keep in mind, they saw what happened on Friday. They saw what happened. They just couldn't act on it on Friday night because now Friday night is their Saturday morning. So their markets are closed. And they're closed Saturday night and Sunday morning. And Sunday night, they open. Well, our Sunday night they open. Theirs, it's opening Monday morning, which is our Sunday night. So, yeah, it's going to be exciting. Let's see. Steve, he knows what he means, chapter 31. Not sure. I think he means chapter 13. Okay, so, yeah, I wondered if somebody would catch that because I knew what I meant, but not sure if he means chapter 31. I believe there is a chapter 7, which means you owe nothing in the end, and chapter 13 means you got a debt discounted, and agree on payment. Yes, that's exactly what I meant. Okay, so you're saying it's not chapter 31 and 13, it's chapter 13 and 7. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Some people, when they go bankrupt, they're filing to clear everything out. Everything is taken away. They own, all their assets are sold off. They own nothing. They can be in the hole, and it don't matter. And if that's the case, people will run up more debt. It doesn't matter. Just run up more debt. It's all going to be wiped out. With the other one, and I'm not sure which was which, you're exactly right. They got it on discount. It means you've agreed, I'm going to pay 50 cents on the dollar, but I'm going to make it right. Whether that's right or wrong, who knows? That's an opinion. But unfortunately, the system is set in place that you can file bankruptcy. I mean, a lot of people think, I don't mean this in a bad way for those of you that are Trump fans or anti-Trump, but I'm going to say it. A lot of people hear Donald Trump doesn't know how to run a business. He filed bankruptcy. Donald Trump filed bankruptcy and shifted a lot of his assets out of one company and into another company through proper sales deals. He probably knew that company was going to go bankrupt, and so assets were moved to another company, and then they bankrupted it. And yes, I mean, it's a practice that big companies use all the time. You have to understand the rules of the game are in place, and if someone's using them, I'm not going to say it's fair or it's right, because anytime someone doesn't get the money that's owed to them, they get burned. But it does happen, and it's legal. So let's see. Good morning, T. I am totally excited over the price of silver and the trajectory that we are headed towards. It appears that silver is starting to have a life of its own, despite what gold is doing. And that's the case. Silver theoretically can be hundreds of dollars in one day. They don't want me buying silver, but as soon as I get a check, I'm converting it to whatever I can to silver, because this is just simply amazing. I will always be on team silver. Like gold, it's okay, but silver is my heart. Yes, I will be honest with you. I am right there with you to a certain point. I don't always convert everything. I have some silver. I like silver. I think silver is going to do better. I have a few gold coins, not a whole lot. I wished I had put that money towards more silver, but it's okay. I talked about that. I knew what I was doing when I made those choices. I didn't want to pay the high premiums, so I picked up some low premium silver and low premium gold instead. And I said, hey, gold's going up. My gold has done well. Unfortunately, my gold has already gone up and seen incredible gains. Now, my silver is going up. We knew, I hate to say it, we all knew gold would go up and silver would follow. We just were under the impression that silver has already been following at 80%, 90%, 100%. We thought that was it. Now we're seeing that was just the tip of the iceberg. Let me take a quick drink real quick. Okay, I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm trying to drink 1 gallon minimum a day of water. But unfortunately, I tend to drink a lot of Diet Coke during the day. So I try to play catch up right now in the evening. So I've got a whole gallon of water here, but it's almost down. It's down to about 1.5 inches now. So, but yeah, converting cash. I wouldn't want to be stuck with a ton of cash when this all goes sideways. I definitely would want to get some silver. A lot of people are starting to panic. I don't think they're panicking yet. I think the panic is coming, though. I think when they start panicking, we're going to see the price. A $10 move in one day, people are going to be like, what the heck? And that will be it. The higher it goes, the faster it goes. That does worry me based on increase in price fundamentals. The higher the price goes in a short period of time, the more likely it is that it could see a pullback. The only reason I'm kind of against the pullback right now is because the demand is still there. I think they're going to stay on it and keep pressing it. I think we could see a month of sideways trading, but I don't think it's going to happen during Ghost Week when it's low volume and everybody's in Aspen or wherever they go for their winter vacations. Maybe they're in Disney World, California, Italy, Aspen, who knows. So let's see. Rudy, don't make a big deal about silver's current price. Most of us stacking believe $100 per ounce is expected nowadays. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I had a friend of mine ask me, okay, big question. He goes, I'm going to sum it up in a short and sweet. He texted me last night and said that. He goes, what's going to come first, $60 silver or $100 silver? And all I could do was laugh. I just laughed. He's like, what? I said, I would say $100 silver, no brainer. I said, but if you gave me the option of $95 silver, I would probably bet everything I own on it. And I'll tell you why, because I think when we hit 100, there will be a lot of people that say that's $2,000 a tube. And at $2,000 a tube, there's going to be a lot of people that are going to want to cash out. But I don't think that we are a big enough player when it comes to, compared to solar panel makers, cell phone makers, Tesla car makers. I don't think we play in a big enough part. The mining companies, they're the ones, and it's going to take them time to get the mining up and running. So ultimately, even if someone does decide to sell at 100, I don't think it's going to have a huge impact. I do think we could have some resistant pocket there. Right now, we've got not much stopping us from here to 100. So, Sabrina, how is it going, Sabrina? Hope you're having a great day. I'm glad I bought early. Thank you, T. Thank you so much, Sabrina. I appreciate that, and I'm glad you bought early, too. I know you must be pumped looking at that coin collection, every coin that you have. Now, easily $80. You would have no trouble getting $80 a coin for them, and it does change people's lives. I actually talked to a girl. Some of y'all know her. From probably 4 years ago. She was a lady that I was dating for a while. We did a couple videos in New Orleans and Memphis and stuff. And while we were together, she learned about silver. And she said, I don't understand. Nobody talks about this. How are you the only one talking about this? I'm not the only one. But there's a lot of people talking. There are people that know. She goes, but I don't understand, because if nobody understands silver, nobody has silver. And if nobody has silver, then what's going to happen to the old people when the economy collapses? And that brings us back to Hillbilly Stack's comment earlier that people are going to starve and people are going to be hurting. I believe that. I do believe that. And the people that are old and don't know about silver are going to be the ones that hurt the most. Their retirement, everything that they have is just going to be washed away, essentially. They'll have their home. They'll have stuff in their home. But ultimately, it's going to get harder. Any money that they have saved up will be essentially worthless unless they saved it in 90%. And that's it. I mean, it stings. I don't know. I just, you writing that comment made me think about it, because you and her both were lucky to start stacking at a good price, and now you're both seeing the price climb, and I know it's exciting for both of you. So moving on to the next comment. We got a lot of comments to cover, but we're actually making good time, I think. Let's see. My prediction was really off for the year. And with people running out and buying as much as they are saying, they aren't trusting the government or the stock market or crypto for too long, they have lying to people. The younger people are getting it the worse. They have no loyalty to these companies because they know these companies have no loyalty to them. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Yeah, these companies don't care about you. Let's put it that way. That's about the best way to say it. They don't care about you. I would not have any loyalty to a brand. At the end of the day, you have to look out for yourself, for your family. Cryptos, they don't have any useful demand aside from to transfer money from one place to another. I can Western Union money from one person to another. I've done it. I've Western Union money to outside of the United States. I don't know. Let me think here. I actually knew a guy one time that Western Union $100 to some betting site. I don't know if that's legit or not. Let's see if that's legal. I don't know. But I knew someone that did it. I've Western Union money outside the United States. I don't need crypto to do it. I'm not doing anything crazy. So I'm not worried about it. I hate to say it. That's why I don't look at crypto as anything major. When it comes to stocks, I'm tired of these companies. You've got a company that holds 50% of the shares, and all of a sudden they decide to sell a large stake in their company. The price plunges. People panic. People sell. The price drops. And all of a sudden the company comes back in and buys it all up. Or the company takes profits and buys more shares, and they run their price even higher up. And they say, oh, this is for the good of all the investors. It's nice, but you know what? I'd rather have dividends. I'd rather have dividends, because what's happening when a company buys their shares back, they're literally pushing the price higher, and they're getting the majority of the holdings. I guess that makes it a little more secure to a certain point. But on the flip side, I'd rather get my dividends. And I think prices of a lot of companies are overvalued right now. We used to look at price per earnings ratio. That's out the window now. We don't look at that. We just look at who's going to pay me more. Knife collector. I remember when you could buy 15 ounces for what spot is today. Gold silver ratio is 57 to 1. I can't wait until it hits 30. At one point, was up $6.69 for the day. That is wild. $7.54 for the day. We went up even higher, I think. This was edited. That's why. 15 hours ago, I was like, 15 hours ago, you wrote that comment. How did you know we went up that much? You edited it. Okay. I can see it right there, edited. It was posted 15 hours ago and then edited. Yeah, we had a phenomenal day. It was exciting. I think we could see another big day. $100 silver, I think, could come next week. I know that sounds crazy to some people. It could. But we'll see. It's going to be interesting. We'll know as soon as the Chinese market's open. We're going to know right off. Let's see. I changed my mind about stopping to buy silver. I bought more silver proof quarters last night. I love proof quality fractional silver. When silver does a 10x, fractional will be most popular form of silver. So yeah, I was actually talking to someone about fractional silver yesterday. He said he was watching another YouTube channel and they were busting up silver sets. So how many? I wouldn't bust my sets up, even though I've got actually one sitting on my desk right now. I'm going to show it real quick for those of you that don't know. Right there. So that right there is a 2006 silver proof set. Is that a price? Nah, I guess that was an auction number. It doesn't have a price on it. So yeah, some people were busting all these open and pulling out the quarters, pulling out anything silver, and just scrapping the plastics. Why? Because they were getting more money for the junk silver right now than before. And here's the thing. It has the value sitting in the package. Does it have extra value? No, but I'm not convinced it's worth less per se, so I'm not going to bust open my sets. But yeah, a lot of people like fractional silver. I like fractional silver. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and he's like, dude, remember all those quarter dime, nickel, penny sets that I got rid of that were silver for like $25 a set? Yeah, like I said, the $50 is worth that now. We knew this was going to happen. And when silver is just so expensive, for the first time, I had someone reach out to me the other day, a younger kid, and just say, hey, I don't have a lot of money. Can I get 3 silver quarters? I just want to buy 3 silver quarters. What's the best you can do? I said, you know what? You can have them for $10 a piece. Told him $10 a piece. It was only 3. So, yeah, I was like, okay. Now those quarters are $14.50 each. So it's kind of crazy on that note. I think it's going to increase in demand. So let's see. Next comment. I do that all the time. If I got no interest for 6 months or a year, I'm buying silver. especially now, Washington State, where starting January 1st, they will be charging a sales tax, trying to get silver. I like now, before I have to pay a sales tax, if I have to sell a bit back in 6 months to a year to avoid interest, worst case is I sell some, like less and at a minimum break even, but have silver design I like more. Best case scenario, silver doubles, and I only have to sell a small amount of it to pay that back and catch up. So that's exactly what I'm talking about right there. That's why I kind of sometimes will go in a little heavier in months. And whatever's left over at the end of the month, hey, that's great. I get to keep it. So, yeah. If I have to give up, I buy 10 ounces and I have to give up 5. Hey, that's fine. I still made out 5 at the end of the month. So who knows? Reckless Collections, good morning. Thank you so much, my friend. I appreciate you taking the time to say that. Like I said in the beginning, even small comments like good morning have huge impacts on the algorithm. Thomas, I listened to a lot of your videos about silver, but I must say yours is the most interesting and tip top. Keep it up, please. Thank you so much. Yeah, here's the thing. So even if I do decide to move to the islands or overseas and start showing you all the fun stuff over there, I will probably still have one night where I am dedicated to Q&A and one day where I talk about silver. So it'll probably, the Friday silver video will still be a Friday silver video, and the Saturday morning answering comments, which may not be about silver. It could be about any topic. Hey, what's it like living in the Philippines? How much is your rent? Is it true you can live there for $500 a month and live the high life? I'll be answering whatever questions. That's what this is. Your questions don't have to be about precious metals. I mean, some people say good morning. I just reply with a good morning. If someone asks me a homestead or a chicken question, some of y'all know I used to do other types of videos, canning food, prepping, homesteading, raising chickens, gardening. I still get questions on that sometimes. Not always on the Friday video, though. Usually it's on old videos, and I just reply whenever I can. So, yeah, that will be a lot of fun. I'll always do something with silver, I believe. Thomas, I wanted to get your thoughts. My local coin shop is overloaded with war nickels and is selling them for $3 each. Since 18 nickels makes 1 ounce, that's $54 an ounce. What do you think about that? It's funny you say that. You see all my windows across the top? I think it was this one because I've still been looking at this. Boom, I'm going to open it up. 18 war nickels contains approximately 1 troy ounce of silver because each war nickel is approximately 0.05626 troy ounces of silver. And 1 divided by 0.05626 is roughly 17.67, making 18 coins a practical number to get 1 full ounce. At 18 coins times 3, that puts you at 24 and 30, $54 essentially an ounce. If you can pick them up for $3 a piece, I would get them. You think about that. That's an ounce of silver at $54. My opinion, get them. Try to get nicer ones, not ones that are all wore out, because there is a certain amount of historical value to them. $3 is not a bad price. Let's see what the Coinflation. Coinflation is a website that tells you the full breakdown on all coins, whether it be silver, gold, base metal, silver coins. We're going to click on, we're going to scroll down. Let's find the war nickel real quick. War nickels. Close out the ad. breakdown on that at... Give me a quick second. Copper price, nickel. I thought they had an easy real quick to look. Let me go back one. War nickels. Okay. A war nickel's value. Where is it? Where the heck is it? 95. Oh, shoot. I'm not even in silver coins. That's why. A war nickel's value right now is at $4.46. So, you're buying them at $3. You're buying at 50%. Well, no, technically, it's not 50%. It would be a 50%. Well, yeah, in a way, it's a 50 cent. You're buying them at $3. You add 50% to that. It's going to be $1.50 extra. That's going to put you at $4.50. So you're essentially as soon as you buy them, you're making 50% on your money. Question is, can you sell them right off? As the price of silver goes up, a lot of these coins, 40% halves, 35% nickels, is going to be in higher demand, I think. I never thought people would get to the point where they're just buying a couple quarters here and there. But a lot of people don't have $80 to buy an ounce of silver. And I think where silver is going, it's going to go a whole lot higher, and these coins are going to be what people buy. And most of them have already been melted down, so that's it. I mean, we're going to see it continue, and that some people will just miss out. So, yeah, I think it's a great deal at $3. Honestly, I would probably end up buying a ton of them if I had the opportunity to at $3. Let's see. That's pretty cool. You mentioned Lockheed Martin. I live right down the street from it. And I remember how I was saying 50-to-1 ratio. That's coming up sooner than we all are about to realize. I think we could see a 50-to-1 ratio by the end of next week. Let's take a look real quick. Let's take a quick look at 50-to-1. Clear, let's say 40. I'm going to say 4,600 because I think gold will have a good day next week. I don't think that's a huge amount, $50-$60. Divide that by 50. Not a $12 jump. I think we could see a $12 jump next week. I think we could see a $12 jump next week. I don't think it will be in one day, but a week, I think could very well happen, especially next week. So, yeah, there it is, 50-to-1 ratio. And there's going to be a lot of people that will dump when that happens. Maybe convert back over. I won't be, but some people will be. Okay, I'm just taking a quick look. This is about ready to be a whole lot of good mornings coming on comments, which is going to speed up the comments. Let's see. I just started the video. Hopefully you mentioned China. This would not be happening without what they are doing. Absolutely. There is no such thing as Chapter 31 bankruptcy. Yeah, it was 13-7. I forgot what the name of it was. Last week, China announced that basically no silver would be leaving the country beginning January 1st. This is huge. The reason the price is higher in China is because they are willing to pay more. China does not play around with paper markets like the United States. All the silver they order is physical. They are literally trying to buy the world's silver supply. They are willing to pay more to get it. That is the number one reason silver is going up right now and to the roof. It's a big world out there. Everything doesn't revolve around the United States. China is buying silver that the U.S. thought they could get their hands on. Who uses more silver than anyone in the world? China. So, yeah. That is the big factor. And like I said, I actually talked about that heavy in an earlier comment when someone had just mentioned China. That's why we're seeing it go up. China is willing to pay more than the United States. We went up recently to $79. And I think when they open up, they're going to run the price up to 84, 85, and maybe even higher, really. They're willing to pay whatever. And they want physical. And I'll be honest, you're right, they don't play around with paper markets. I'm glad the U.S. plays around with paper markets. It's given myself and some of you a good opportunity to buy cheap silver. Remember, silver's not $100 yet here in the United States, but almost every country around the world, it is $100 in their currency. So I think we're going to be getting there pretty soon. And a lot of people are just in awe that it's happening. And we're all excited. So that in China is the ones that are pushing it. And they understand we can't make solar panels out of paper. When platinum is $20,000, it won't seem like a runner-up. You might have heard a little bit of a chuckle. That wasn't a negative thing. Yeah, silver, platinum. How do I say this? Platinum will probably continue to go up. I'm just looking at it right now as what silver is going up. When silver is skyrocketing in price, let's see if I can pull up a platinum price real quick and take a look how far off we are from that. If I had to guess right now, I would say platinum is $2,100. What is the price of platinum? $2,400. Okay. Let's pull up a price chart. See, I don't really keep up enough with it. $2,464. Darn, just this week it went up that difference. So I would have been right if I had said that 2,100 a week ago. Definitely had a great week. Hey, 23% in the last week. How about 24 hours? Let's see what it went up yesterday. 8.5% in the last day. Silver went up 10% in the last day. Are these prices going to continue? Right now, silver is number one. It won't matter when platinum reaches $20,000. That would be 8 times. You know what? Well, we'll see. Is silver going to be at $700? A lot of people can't fathom that, but I've seen a lot of math that actually points to $500 to $700. Remember, as price goes up, gains are going to get bigger. 8% of $2,400 is going to be a lot more money than 8% of $80. So you might see the gains grow bigger and bigger. That's where the compounding interest or compounding percentage gains, momentum gains come into play. But I still think silver will be number one. But you could be right. It won't matter. Platinum won't seem like the runner-up back down the road. I'm not saying anything bad. And yes, platinum does have demands. I just think silver is heavy in demand right now. Alan, good morning. Silver is holding 55 an ounce. That's around 75 US. I was buying right up until Christmas Day. I get some really nice coins. I got them as presents, but I got myself one of each coin as well. The Royal Mint have been selling 2024 coins with as much as 50% of the price. I got a really nice silver proof coin that was originally $96 for 96 euro for 66. Great. I wish I had more. Of their fake currency to convert into real money while I still can convert it. The day is coming when that will no longer be possible, and no one is going to be a part with their metals for paper. I agree. There's going to be a time. I know one person that actually picked up 4 ounces yesterday, and he had kind of touched on that when he said that. He said a lot of people don't want to sell anymore. It's tightening up. I would even question getting rid of anything right now. But we'll see what happens. The time is coming where you should have already got your metals. And down the road, in order to get people to part with it, you're going to have to pay even more. Good morning, T. Great video. I've been hearing about the silver jump for years. It looks like it's finally here. Absolutely. I know some of y'all have been hearing this for years. Someone else left a comment. 30 years they've been waiting and never seen it. It happens. And now it's here. It's going to be an ugly road, though, too. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be worth the ride, I think. Let's see. Don't feel bad about slowing down. Most of us are because of cost. Normally, I would acquire at least $10 in face value, 90% silver each week. Not anymore. I'm down to about $5 face value of 90% silver dimes. Now, if I can find them cheap enough online, Christmas Eve, I had a little extra. So I decided to buy myself a little gift before the price went up again. And it did. Up almost $4 an ounce already. This is why we dollar cost average, even little amounts at a time. You're still stacking, and she's still going up. Smiles. Yeah, dollar cost averaging is great. We actually went up a lot higher than the $4 an ounce yesterday. It was exciting. Dollar cost averaging makes sense to do that. And some people are going to keep picking it up every chance they get. Just a little bit, small amounts. And a lot of people are shifting to face value 90% junk silver. When I was reading this comment, I had a quick flashback of someone willing to sell me dimes the other day for like $4 a dime or $3.70 a dime, and I turned it all down, and I'm like, ugh. I didn't have the money to buy it. I didn't want to spread myself too short, but I was like, darn, what did I do? I was holding out. I tried getting them to go to $3 a dime, and I said, look, how about $3 a dime if I take all of them? And then I would have broke it down amongst myself and a lot of other people, and then, get to keep some myself at a cheaper price. But he said no, and I had to walk. Let's see, Robert. A very good morning. Vindication from the naysayers. Opinions of my critics for stacking. Yes, we are definitely seeing vindication today. I've had a lot of people call me yesterday and say, hey, what's going on? You weren't interested then, now you're interested? Yeah, I'm thinking about going all in. What do you think? I said, I think you should have gone all in a little sooner. And I'm going to probably do a video about that question. Should I go all in on silver? Because I think it's an important question right now that we will be hearing. It's definitely going to need to come into play come next week. We're almost at the end. Wednesday is New Year's Eve, and Thursday is New Year's Day. Laugh out loud. Anyhow, great video. Love you, T-Square. Cut and trim. Yes. Or cat and tam. I'm not sure what that means. Cat and tam. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm guessing that is two people's names. My bad. I was like, what is cat and tam? I'm guessing that's nicknames. Although Tam could be short for Tammy and Cat could be short for Catherine. So I'm guessing it's Catherine and Tammy. Thank you so much for watching. I'm not sure if I did them names right. I'll just say Cat and Tam. It's definitely exciting. It definitely is. And it's interesting because what you just said in that comment about Wednesday being New Year's Eve and Thursday being New Year's Day, I'm not convinced the market's going to be open both those days. I haven't looked it up yet, but I will. and that could cause some even more friction, which means we could see another big jump on Friday. Then Monday, the following Monday, everybody comes back to work, and surprises they will have, and that could be when a huge beatdown starts to form, but we'll see. Some people say we are in an endless loop of higher prices. I don't believe that. Nothing is always higher, so we'll see what happens. LBMA is closed on Friday. This could be a catalyst for higher stock prices. Yeah, we definitely are seeing some crazy stuff happen, and we could see some crazy stuff happen even more. It's definitely going to be exciting. Let's see. Morning tea. I brought $10,000 of silver on my credit card when it was $25 an ounce. I'm thinking about selling at $80 an ounce. What do you think? Just sell half? Sell or not sell? So, I'm not a licensed financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do. I could probably tell you what I would do. If you are on a 0% interest, I am going to milk mine out for as long as I can. And then, if you are not on that 0%, I would probably be tempted to sell a little bit. Would I rush out and sell it at 80? I might try to sell it Tuesday. If I was in a position where I had to sell, it would be Tuesday that I would try to sell, and I would try to sell half, especially if the markets aren't open on Friday. A lot of stores won't be open, a lot of coin stores. I would call ahead, ask them, hey, what can you do on this? See what they tell you. Keep in mind, if the spot price is 80, they're probably going to try to get it, they could try to get it off you at 75. Even then, you still tripled your money. So that's my thoughts. Someone else said, my 2 cents says hold half unless you really need the money now. Yeah, okay, so I got to agree with that. I wouldn't sell everything, and maybe I didn't make that clear either. I would not sell more than half. If you sold half, if you bought it at 25, essentially if you sold half or a third of it, it should pay the bills. That's about all I would do. I would keep your silver for a while. If you can hold out and not sell, I can understand that too. We're not going back to 20. We're probably not going back to 20. I don't have a crystal ball, so I don't know for sure, but I don't think we'll go back to 20. T-Square Talk has been spot on in its silver predictions made long ago. Silver bulls deserve and will get more. Yes, I believe we're going to get a whole lot more. Thank you so much for noticing. The calls have been more accurate than not. Have I had some calls that didn't happen exactly? Yes. But I'm happy that the number one call, which was get yourself some silver, has done well. Now, at this point in the game, be very careful if you're going all in on silver. But I'm going to talk about that probably on my Sunday's video. Let's see. I mine out of the mountains and the trash. It all takes time and money, especially on large scale. I do all different jobs that are required to do it. It sucks, but I'm adding silver. Absolutely. Mining silver out of the ground, I think, out of the mountains, that's pretty cool to be able to do that. Very few people can do that. I don't even really know if I would know how to mine silver out of the ground. Gold I could do because I've watched panning videos and stuff, but silver, you'd have to crush rocks, beat the rocks down, crush them down, run them through stuff. Out of the trash, I've known people that have actually done it off circuit boards, pulling out circuit boards of everything and then processing them and adding to their stack that way, both for silver and for gold. This is a great video. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I can't thank you enough for that. I know we are actually winding to the end right now on this one. what are these countries going to do when space exploration becomes a factor on how sparse and expensive silver is? I mean, starships, we need tons and tons to create. They better be buying way more now. So, yeah. How is silver needed to build starships? Oh, no. That's a heavy factor. All your planes, anything technology, anything you build, circuit boards, they're using heavy amounts of silver. Even though we haven't built starships, if we envision what a well, I guess, actually, I shouldn't even say that. You look at the Falcon. Is it Falcons? What do they call Elon's starships? There's a lot of tech in there. In fact, I got to find that out. Let's find that out. We got 2 comments. We're getting to the bottom. We got time. This is the weekend video. You can watch this in pieces. What do they call the starships that Elon Musk builds for SpaceX? Spacecraft Divine. Oh, they are called starships. Okay, so let's call them starships. I guess that's the actual name of them. How much silver goes into making Elon Musk's? Nope. How much silver goes into making Elon Musk's starship? Let's see. Well, SpaceX starships are famous for its shiny silver appearance. It's not actually made out of silver. Hold on, though. Its exterior is primarily made and constructed out of special stainless silver alloys. However, the hull does not use silver, which that makes sense because it would probably melt off, lift off. But the electronics, silver is the most conductive metal and standard in highly performance aerospace electronics for circuit boards, connectors, switch gears. The batteries, high performance silver, zinc, or lithium ion batteries used in aerospace often contain silver components to handle the rapid power discharge. Comparison for context, typical high-end electronic vehicles, Tesla uses roughly 1 kilogram of silver. So yeah, I mean, it makes sense that we're going to be using a lot of silver for all the technicals in these starships. So it's a good question. Where are they going to get the silver from? They better be buying it now. But the truth of the matter is, price will solve everything. You think silver's going to end at $80? It's going to go a whole lot higher. And if you're building a starship, do you care if silver is 80, 100, 200, 500? Nope. I'll sell for the right amount of money. Maybe even some people will give up some silver for a seat on it. Who knows? But at that point, silver is going to be expensive. My dad told me I was right about silver. Now, that right there is an awesome feeling. To have someone tell you were right on silver. They believed in you in the beginning. I had a friend of mine tell me today, he's like, hey, I just want to tell you, bro, I am happy for you. You called it, and it's there. It's happening. And it felt good hearing that from him. And I was telling him how someone had just told me literally a week ago I was stupid for not selling everything. He said, I doubt they said that. I said, nah, they just didn't say the F word. They didn't say I was effing stupid. They just said I was stupid for not selling. But people don't understand. You got to essentially forgive these people. They don't know. They don't understand what's going on. They don't know what we know. I don't know what's better, hearing that or the silver. Yes, that is awesome to hear that. I can tell you that. Living the dream. When folks know they are going bankrupt and intentionally max out their credit card, it is fraudulent. Do not try it. I told you, it's not supposed to be done. I even mentioned briefly, I think it's classified as a sin if you read the Bible or you follow Bible practices. The Bible specifically says pay your bills. So yeah, I would not recommend anybody practices that policy for both legalities and for the ultimate legality and judgment. Let's see. I believe that physical silver will cost more than gold eventually. So this is something I have heard from a lot of people. Here's the thing. Can you imagine if we just go to 10 to 1? Let's be honest, at 10 to 1. Although what you just said is going to be very interesting because some of us in the room have kids that are fairly young. And in 50 to 100 years from now, or 50 to 80 years, when these kids are all grown up, they're going to look back and they're going to remember, I remember holding 20 ounces of silver in my hand when I was a kid, or 40 ounces of silver in my hand. And people are like, bull, no you didn't. Silver is $5,000 an ounce now. And they're going to be like, I held it. I know I did. So it's going to be interesting. Do I think we'll hit 1 to 1 in most of our lifetimes? I'm not really 100% convinced that we'll see it for us. If you're, we're not going to see it in the next 5 to 10 years, I don't believe. I know some people will tell you will 1 to 1, but I don't think we'll get there. We're definitely coming down a lot faster than I expected, and this is exciting. Great show. Excellent times, T. Thank you so much, Luna. I do appreciate that, Parker. Let's see. Josh, still buying at 75. There is talk of a 40% gold-backed treasury note issued next year. How is a 40% backed currency that is all hype right now any different than the fractional reserve system that we're currently living in? Living the dream replied to that first. It said, I've not heard that from him. Yeah, I haven't talked about that, but I have heard about that. I just have not talked about it at all. Others are talking about it too. I'm wondering the difference, what we are currently in, and a 40% gold backed anything. I'm asking a question thinking we are on the same page. Yes. Okay, so I haven't talked about this, but I have heard it and not really looked into it because right now it's all speculation until they actually do it. But it's a confidence game, in my opinion. How do I know they've got 40%? I don't. You don't. We just assume that they're being honest with us. And if you're assuming, it may not end well. There will be people that it will instill confidence in them. Why do I need to hold a fiat or a treasury note that is gold backed when I can just buy the gold? And then if I buy an ounce of gold, it's 100% backed by gold because I own the gold. I don't really want a 40% gold back. There would have to be some kind of advantage in there for me that I don't know yet what they're going to do exactly. I don't need a gold-backed currency when I can just hold the gold. There's nothing more gold-backed than just holding the item that backs it. I can hold it myself. I think if I hold it myself, I'm in the right position, essentially. Could they pass laws to take it away from us? Nobody asked that question. I mean, anything can happen. I'm not going to get too much into it because it wasn't really one of the questions, but I'm convinced that any paper that's backed by anything is still no different than what we have now. I mean, it's a little bit better, but not really. I mean, because I don't trust them. You don't trust them. Most people don't trust them right now. I love the increase. I hate only getting 5 ounces for the same amount of money. Now, really, 4 ounces, but still stacking. I think I need mental health. Don't we all? Yes. I think the don't we all comment was actually probably the best part of that because, yeah, I think we all are looking at it like this is nuts, and I think we can continue to go higher. Like I said, we followed suit every other country were following them little by little, and now every other country is over $100 almost. And that's it. We're going to be there too pretty soon. As of 7:50 a.m., silver in Canada is $101. Gold is at $6,175. I'm still buying dollar cost averages. And Happy New Year from Ontario, Canada, to the whole stacking community. Thank you so much. And that kind of ties in nicely with the comment that I just said a minute ago. Yeah, $100 silver, it's almost everywhere now. It's going to probably keep working its way up. So it's going to get exciting. Next comment, Parker. How's it going? Let's see. My understanding is that Joann Fabrics was one of the most profitable companies in the country, and it was purchased so that it could be stripped of all of its assets to shore up failing businesses, which is why they closed and all of the employees lost their job. Being a seamstress, that bummed me out. Yeah, so I didn't know Joann Fabrics actually went out of business. Now I'm going to look that up. I actually used to go to Joann Fabrics all the time. Did Joann Fabrics go out of business? Yes, Joann Fabrics went out of business and closed all of its approximately 800 U.S. stores by May 30th, 2025. Oh, wow. Next time I drive by Joann Fabrics in the city, I'm actually going to take a look. I didn't know that, but clearly they all went out of business. There's no arguing that that's accurate. Yeah, so those of you that like the coupons, I thought I still got coupons, but I still clean out boxes and find old mail. I mean, I hate that when I get stuff that's old mail that I must have missed or threw in a box, and then I find it a year later. Wow, that is crazy. Yeah, it happens. The reason that comment came up, for those of you that don't know, we talked yesterday, about companies that will be purchased for the sole purpose of to break them down for the assets. And I guess Joann Fabrics was just one of them companies that it happened. And for those of you that don't know, yeah, being a seamstress, they had a lot of different fabrics, a lot of cool stuff that you could buy and get into. So let's see here. 32.30, $15 silver, laugh out loud. Okay, so 32 minutes and 30 seconds. I mentioned $15 silver, laugh out loud. I've been messing up with the price lately too. I meant to say $73 to my wife and said 37. Before that, I meant to say 62 and said 26. My subconscious still hasn't realized silver is over 40, or I'm dyslexic and it's just showing now. Yeah, as we get older, it does start to show. Thanks for the content, friend. I hope you had a joyful Christmas and best wishes to you and in the new year. Thank you so much, my friend. Yeah, it's easy to mess up. I don't know if I said $15 silver, though. Sometimes I'll say that people think it's going to go back to $15. And this is not an exaggeration. I still talk to people that have a belief that we're going to see $15, $20 silver again. And that this is all just some rigged system and it's going to bust and the price is going to plunge and you'll be able to pick your silver up for $15 or $20. You're probably not going to go to McDonald's and get a hamburger for a nickel. You're probably not going to go to the movie theater and get a popcorn, a movie ticket, and a soda for a dime. You're probably not going to go gas up your car for a dime. You're probably not going to get silver ever again for $15 or $20. But we'll see what happens. Got to mention gold's new high too, bro. Of course, gold is doing well, but silver is a freight train right now. Absolutely. Gold has been doing well. Gold, though, had its glory earlier on. Silver didn't. now it's silver's time to shine. But yes, gold has done really well. Definitely worth looking at. Let's see. It makes no logical sense to be shorting it. Must be ordered from a higher power. It's not about making or losing money for these entitles. It's about controlling. Otherwise, it would be out of control within a day. I'm thinking silver might be the Achilles heel of the financial derivatives markets. 2 quadrillion fake dollars looking to find a home very soon. That is exactly what I talked about in the beginning of the video. This is the Achilles heel. China knows it. China is applying pressure on it right now. They have it. We don't. They're acquiring it. We're not. We've been playing a paper game. They're playing a physical game. And either you get your silver now or you miss out. A lot of people kind of starting to worry that they could end up making some kind of a law, turn in your silver. Maybe, but I think there's better ways for them to get it. All they got to do is come out, a tax-free deal, and people will sell to the government. They can get the silver. It's a critical metal. They need it. They know this now, and that's it. Or everybody resets the money. The whole money system resets. We all start back essentially at next to nothing, and everything you have built up is gone. You'll own your home. You'll own your car. You will probably have to borrow money against it to survive. But it is what it is. And if you're lucky enough to have a little bit of precious metals, that's great. But who knows? I've heard people say they're going to ban people trading. Maybe they will, but we'll see what happens. Personally, I don't know. Let's see, Eli, my man Eli, number one comment person. I actually got a report from YouTube the other day, and it said the names of the people with the most comments. Eli beating out every other commenter by approximately 25% more, with his comments being 1,400 comments, and the next one was at like 1,100, and so on and so on. So congratulations, Eli, on that. Thank you very much for being a member and a regular commenter and liking the videos. Although I gotta say, you don't have the heart for some reason. That means you don't always hit the like, according to this. For those of you that don't know, the little comment box like this, it means you comment more comments than the average person. The star means you're a member, and if you have a heart next to your name, that means that you like a lot of the videos, and that you receive a lot of likes back on your comments, like if I hit the heart or whatever. Let's see, crazy times. I've never sold or traded any of my silver, but way back of my mind, I am possibly contemplating at some point to maybe trade in some of my silver for a couple ounces of gold, but I'm cautious, very, very cautious, because I've never done that before. Let me know before you do it. I know one guy that watches the channel on a regular basis, and I remember when he traded 500 ounces of silver for 5 ounces of gold, thinking we were going to go back up to 125. It might have been 4 to 400. I can't remember if it was 400 to 4 or 500 to 5. Needless to say, I was like, man, I wish I had traded with him, but he was too far away, other side of the country. I would have loved to have found someone that was willing to do that. Remember why to be thankful. Jesus Christ is King. Absolutely. The only way to heaven is, well, actually, I'm not going to quote that because everybody's got different opinions on religion. Got to be careful when you start talking about religion on here. Some people will get upset. So I am cautious. I walk a fine line on that. I might read a scripture every now and then, but people interpret stuff differently, I guess I should say. Moving on, but thankful so much for the comment. And it's definitely important to put God first in your life. And Not necessarily gold and silver. Let's see. The Happy Stacker 69, my man. I was thinking about you today. I'll tell you why in just a second here. You're looking good, Lewis. Feeling good, Billy Ray. Yes. I think I saw one of your comments, and I might have replied to it earlier today when I had seen something, and it was, I might have even replied to it on accident, basically about how it feels good to see silver going up. It really does feel good to see silver where it's at, but it should especially feel good for you because you got into silver more recently. You got into it this year. However, your dad was a heavy stacker, and then your dad passed away and left you all that silver. And I'll know you and I'll talk about you probably until my last days because you reached out to me wanting to sell your stack, and I am extremely happy that I took some time, talked to you about why he did that. And it's sad that he didn't get to. I'm tearing up a little bit. I'm sorry. It's sad that he didn't get to see that. I mean, he stacked for a long time. He didn't acquire that much silver by not stacking. And there's a lot of older people in the room right now that are in that same boat, that are stacking, and they may not be here to see $500, $700 silver or a 10-to-1 ratio. It feels good that we're getting there now. And I think your dad would have loved to have seen that. So, congratulations on that. And it's pretty exciting. Hey there, buddy. Moonshots. Yeah, we're definitely seeing moonshots on silver right now. And I don't think there's going to be much slows it down this week. This next week, we are going to see the price just, I think, go crazy. We are only 10x from the inflation-adjusted price of $740. Still a little ways away. But we're working our way up. I think we could start really ramping up faster and faster. I had one person ask me, hey, when silver went up in the 80 and when it went up in 2011, it was like straight up vertical like it is right now. Yes, it was, but even at $80 silver, we're only 4x from what we were at from $20 silver for a while. I think we got still some good room to run, and with the manipulation that they've been using, I think we could see a lot more energy get behind it when that happens. You're the absolute best, T. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, Thomas. Cheers to all my haters. Absolutely. For those of you that dissed, trash talked the channel, we got a video coming up for you, probably on New Year's. Your comment might get a shout out in an upcoming video. I'm going to go back about a year, though, and read those comments and probably even reply to them on camera. I think that would be funny. I don't know how I'll reply. Silver's at $15. You will never see anything much more than $20. Maybe if you're lucky, you'll see $25 silver. But you guys are a bunch of idiots for buying. I can't wait to answer those comments. And I don't know how I'll answer them yet. Yeah, you're probably right. But then again, I look at the silver now and we're over $80. And by the time I reply to them like that, we might even be over 100. It's escalating. Cheers to all my haters. Laugh out loud. Congratulations on your win. It has been a good trade so far, but I'm worried for the U.S. as this happens. That's a common theme. We're going to talk about that for sure. I think the U.S. is in trouble right now. What's a hater? A hater is a person that has been trash talking silver from the get-go. We're going to dedicate a video to all the haters. We're going to pull out some comments and reply to the comments and talk a little bit about them. And you're going to see all them comments are going to be from 1 year ago. 1 year ago when people wrote those trash comments. Now they're going to find out, man, I guess I was wrong. And I'm curious to see how many of them reply back. I was wrong. I'm sorry or something. It's going to be interesting. I need to look up a bet that I made with Grizzman. It's going to be difficult to find it. The bet was, I think, do we see $150,000 Bitcoin before we see $100 silver? I'm going to start hunting that down. That comment's going to be a little hard to find. He might remember, but I don't really remember. But hopefully we can find it. But yeah, I mean, worried for the U.S., I totally understand that. There's a lot to worry about. The U.S. is in trouble. They're going to have to print money. I don't know if I'm really worried about the U.S. or the dollar as much as I'm worried about people and the inflation that we're going to experience. And it's sad, but we knew this was coming, and no one stood up and said, this is going to get ugly. LBMA is closed today. Shanghai versus the COMEX. Should be interesting. Yeah. Exciting, yes, but we may need to be cautious as 121 to what lies ahead. JP Morgan could be on the gangplank. They're walking the plank right now. I'm not sure if that's what you mean by that comment, but yeah, JP Morgan. Keep in mind, JP Morgan has a large position in shorts, but JP Morgan has a large position in silver too. If JP Morgan is smart, they're going to cover most of their delivery options, and then they're going to start getting rid of their position over the next few weeks before the next delivery date, which we're going to see. What is the next silver delivery date after December 28th? January 30th. So they have about a month after December 28th to push deliveries. That's going to be interesting. January 1st delivery date, January 2nd, last delivery date is the 30th, but usually the end of the month one. That's the big one that you have to watch. So I guess it happens on January 30th. There's a big one on December 28th. That's why I worry a little bit about a tap down coming on the 28th, but we'll see what happens. And with that being said, boom. We are at the bottom. We replied to every one of those comments, 85 of them. So thank you so much to everybody. Cancel that. And I don't think I answered any comments yesterday, but I'm just going to scroll through real quick. Boom. I'm just checking real quick. A lot of comments tonight. We had 85 comments. That took a while, actually. Being a seamstress. We talked about that one. Boom. Yeah, we got them all tonight. So, long video, I know, for those of you guys that made it all the way to the end. Actually, not really long. 2 hours and 12 minutes. I won't say that's long at all. We've gone 4 hours on these sometimes. So that's awesome that we didn't actually run 4 hours. 2-hour video on a weekend. You can watch, I would normally say watch half of it on Saturday, watch the other half on Sunday. But I may do a video on Sunday. Let me know. Do y'all want, whoever made it this far, because very few people will make it this far in the video, 2 hours. Do you want to see a Sunday video? If you say yes, if a handful of people say yes, Sunday video, I'm going to put a Sunday video up because it's definitely worth talking about. And I think the topic for the Sunday video should be to the people that want to go all in on silver right now, they need to be careful. That's what I would like to do a Sunday video on, because some people think there is no way the silver price can go down, and some people are saying it has to go down. I don't think it has to go down, but I would not bet that it can't go down. So we'll see what happens. With that being said, 1:30 in the morning, I'm going to sign out. If you guys tell me Sunday morning video there'll be a Sunday morning video. Maybe there'll even be a live stream tonight, possibly. We'll see what happens. Keep your eyes open, and it's going to be exciting. We got an exciting week ahead of us, that's for sure. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow on T-Square Talk. Take care, everybody. Have a great one, and have a good night. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up button and leave a comment. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. And check out some of these other videos that I am putting up here with a hyperlink, so you can just tap the one that looks cool to you and check it out. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye. And a great weekend.